Good morning, and welcome back to Cold Waters. And welcome back to the USS Snook. This is SSN-592, I believe. I might have that wrong. And we are on patrol just to the west of Ireland right now. Intel has given us, the MI5 has given us a bit of intel about some Russian movements. We are led to believe that they have some diesel-electric boats that are planning an incursion into Irish territory. So, as unlikely as this sounds, the balloon has gone up. World War III is upon us. It's a bit limited right now. There's nothing nuclear going on. And we find ourselves in a skipjack because, hell, skipjack. So today's boat is just armed with Mark 48s. Let's go ahead and show you that. The Mars was not used that often in attack boats. It was used in SSBNs, and it was then removed from service in the mid-1990s. So I don't have any on board today. Instead, we're going to use skipjack speed. Now, quick note on speed: depending on where you look, this class is capable of 30. Or 33 knots, or somewhere in the middle. We've gone for we've actually gone for 33 knots, and so we have speed on our side. If we're against diesel electrics and we need to make a run for it, that's what we're going to do. We are almost fresh out of port. We do only have a total of 22 torpedoes with us today. That's by design. We've got space for reloading, moving around, anything else that we might want to do. And
rig ship for ultra quiet.
Don't have anything on sonar right now. And yeah, so our mission is to seek and destroy any Russian boats. We don't know what's out here, if anything at all. So I'm gonna do.
Come left 2, 3, 4, 5, helm aye.
I'm going to go on a bit of a patrol, and of course, here's the thing. If nothing is going to happen, I wouldn't be making a video. Or would I? I'm going to go ahead and just accelerate time. I might end up pausing the recording. I'll let the game run on for a little bit.
Con, helm, steady course.
Or more likely, I'm going to go ahead and ping actively, because we're in friendly territory for us. I mean, the Irish is fairly friendly to the Americans. If we need to, we'll ping actively, we'll call for backup. Assuming we make it to the surface. I'm going to do just that.
Con, sonar, new contact bearing.
Oh, hello.
108, designated Sierra,
Or
1.
maybe I'm not. Right, let's go and put myself perpendicular to this target.
Come right 2, 0, 2, 2, helm aye.
The reason for doing that is we'll get a better reception on the towed array. So it's dropped off immediately. Let's accelerate time a little bit.
Con, helm, steady course.
Still nothing. Okay, I'm actually going to go back to heading northwest. 3, 4, 5.
Come left 2, 3, 4, 5, helm aye. Con, sonar, con, helm, steady course.
Oh, we got it for just a second and then it disappeared again. Right, let's go ahead and steer a little bit starboard. See if we can pick it up. Let's go north. Is that the right time for a few seconds? Okay, nothing. So let's go 300.
Come left 2, 3, 0, 0, helm aye.
Still nothing. Alright, well let's swing it about.
Come right 2, 1, 1, 8, helm aye.
That's the right time again. We'll swing it about and we'll head right towards where the contact was. Now that might be a fishing vessel.
Con, sonar, regained contact on Sierra 1, bearing 1, 1, 9.
Would suggest maybe not. Right, let's take a look and see what this is. I was about to go to periscope depth, pop up the sensors and take a look, but oh, hello.
Con, sonar, Sierra 1 is classified as submerged submarine.
That's a Foxtrot class. and that is, well, that's right into MI5's territory. Mostly use special operations boats for Spetsnaz. So here's the thing. I don't like that. I'm going to go ahead. I was going to fire. Let's give it a few seconds, see if we get a bit more information about
Con, helm, steady course.
He's accelerated up to 10 knots, so
Con,
maybe...
sonar lost contact. Sierra, 1. Last bearing, 1, 2, 1. Contact faded.
He's a distance. I'm going to go ahead and ping him, and then I'm going to fire almost immediately.
Con, sonar, switching to active search.
Nothing. Okay. Oh, there's 2. Alright. They got a... Is that 3? Right, let's... Okay, that's a launch. Let's get one out.
Shoot 2-1. Aye, sir.
Con, sonar, switching to passive search. Come right to 2,
that's the
0,
second one
6,
out. Okay.
Helm, aye.
We may have bitten off more than we can chew. I'm going to go ahead and launch one that much closer. These are normal Mark 48s. They've got a range of 3,000 yards sensor range. Let's get that one out.
Con, fire control. We've lost the wire.
This one I'm going to send a little bit further. Send it 6,000 yards. And I am going to get...
Make turns for 1-5 knots. Maneuvering aye.
Down to 700 foot. I don't want to use the dive planes. I want to try and keep the wire on these
Passing 500 feet.
on this single torpedo that has a wire. Skipjack only gets 1 wire. If I did this in the Los Angeles, that's got, I think, 4. And the Seawolf
Con,
has
helm, steady course.
8 wires and 8 tubes. We're running to 15 knots because that's the safest speed that we can run and keep a wire on a torpedo. And you can still lose it, but anything more than 15 knots, and it's not guaranteed that you'll lose the wire, but effectively,
Passing 600 feet.
It's 30 feet.
Con, torpedo room, tube 2 ready.
Okay, let's got that torpedo tube loaded, which is nice. Gently pop it down to 700 feet depth. That's our test depth.
Passing 700 feet.
Okay, now what we're going to do now is wait. I think let's accelerate time for just a second. So, and let's give it its thing. So the hope by changing my course pretty rapidly is that whatever's coming towards me will be heading in a different location to what I was in. So I was heading towards them. I'm now moving perpendicular. I'm trying to notch my course. I'm presenting a side-on aspect ratio to the target sonar. That means, and I'll show you what I mean here actually. This is what his sonar's seeing. This big, wide profile. I'm gonna look at the fin on that. But if I'm head-on, profile is that much smaller. Now, it's still a big sail, but a lot smaller. And of course, if you side-on, if you're above or below, it's a proportionally bigger or smaller
sonar,
profile.
Noisemaker bearing 110.
So we've notched it. It looks like successfully. Ooh, me. Big yawn. He fired his torpedoes as though he's coming right at me. Fantastic. And they've gone live. They're now pinging actively with sonar.
Fire control. Weapon acquired.
Ooh, it looks like he's detected the same one. I'm going to swing this torpedo around to the northeast, I think. So we know that
sonar, noisemaker bearing 109.
we know that where those two noisemakers are, we have a
Sonar regained contact on Sierra 1 bearing 109.
we know we have a live one there. Let me just get this torpedo 1 to go back into swing mode. Okay. I'm actually going to ping the sonar actively. That might spook something else out there. I'm going to drop my speed to 5 knots.
Make turns for 5 knots. Maneuvering eye.
Oh, we took out the Foxtrot.
Rig ship for ultra quiet.
Right, and actually there's more targets to the south, it looks like. So let's go ahead and point this thing south. Let's disable active sonar right now.
Sonar new contact bearing 115. Designated Sierra 2.
Okay.
Sonar new contact bearing 095. Designated Sierra 3. Maneuvering, making turns for 5 knots.
2 more contacts. Bit of a Wolfpack going on here then. A Foxtrot, a Tango, and a Whiskey. The Tango is the most modern of those 3.
Sonar, noisemaker bearing 095.
Tango has just given away his position. I can see exactly where he is right now. So I'm going to go ahead and spoof him with, or concern him with some active sonar. And that tells both the Whiskey and the Tango exactly where my Mark 48 torpedo is, but I'm trying to scare them. Let's take a look. What's his depth? Pretty shallow. Okay. Now my torpedo is struggling to acquire him, so I'm going to disable active sonar pinging like so. See how the sort of blue, red, purple sensor line was just alternating a lot. It was having trouble acquiring the target. If you get that, disable or enable active sonar, and it should clear it out. So it's now tracking in essentially in passive mode. Now this Whiskey, I don't know where the Whiskey
sonar,
is.
noisemaker bearing 096.
Manually steer my Mark 48 around this. I'm going to turn towards a little bit south of the Whiskey.
Fire control, weapon.
Come left to 135. Helm eye.
Don't detect any more torpedoes launched at me, so I'm guessing just the Foxtrot and Tango fired, or maybe just
fire
the Tango.
control, weapon acquired.
I haven't had to use my speed advantage here yet, which is nice. It's 4 torpedoes fired. Okay. Switch to this torpedo. It looks like it's getting close. I'm going to ping actively with the sonar. We might get a better idea of...
sonar, noisemaker bearing 097.
Yeah, I can actually see that it's right in front of us. So I'm pinging actively with the sonar. The advantage there is it'll send back what it finds to my submarines. Tracking equipment, tracking computer, and it might give me the location pretty exactly. Oh, he's right behind us.
Helm, steady course.
Right behind the torpedo. Right, let's try that. There he is. Hello. It didn't acquire him, but I'm just going to drive it in manually.
Sonar, noisemaker
There we go.
bearing 098.
Target has been prosecuted. Let's switch back to me. So now 1 left, and that's a Whiskey.
Sonar lost contact. Sierra 2, last bearing 119. Contact faded.
Disappeared. There's a lot of ambient noise around me and a lot of noise around him. I'm going to go ahead and just speculatively fire the torpedo 6,000 yards in that direction.
Fire control, we've
Lost the wire. Okay. That's bad because it means that I can't guide it onto the target, but the Mark 48 is a very effective weapon and it should be okay. Let me accelerate time here, and he might fire back if I should.
Torpedo room.
Come right to 214. Helm eye.
I'm going to turn away.
Make turns for 10 knots. Maneuvering eye. Make turns for 15 knots. Maneuvering eye.
Reason why I turned away and tried to notch essentially the path of my own torpedo is, if he doesn't know where I am, he's going to fire back along the same or the opposite course to where my torpedo is coming from, and what that means is it'd be aiming right between my eyes. So now, yes, his torpedo will get an active return, pretty chonky, but at least I have a bit more of a chance of evading him. Plus my towed arrow is listening too, at least it will be, more so if I slow down. I'm gonna go ahead and pop it
Break
in
shift for ultra quiet.
ultra quiet, and let's take a listen. Let's accelerate time again. I should pick him up, or at least my torpedo.
Con sonar regained contact
Okay.
on Sierra 2, bearing 109. Con sonar noisemaker bearing 107.
What was interesting there, when we quieted my torpedo, it was circling around, so it probably got maybe confused. There was a rapid change of depth from the whiskey, possibly. He's now at 300 feet as opposed to 700 feet. And my torpedo is tracking him, and the Mark 48 is kind of relentless. The whiskey is not exactly a quick boat. It can do 13 knots. Yeah, can't dive very deep. It can't go very quickly. Thankfully, there's only 54 souls on board who are going to get one. It's quite a small boat, but it has all torpedoes. But all it takes is one torpedo to sink your skipjack.
Con sonar noisemaker bearing 107.
See if I can switch to... yeah, I can. This is my Mark 48. I can't do anything to this other than just watch it. From a third-person perspective, that's kind of noisy. Can't turn on the active sonar. I just got to let it do its thing. Okay. Well, there's not much to see right now, but the whiskey is most definitely evading, or trying to evade this torpedo. The fact he's survived so far is pretty impressive. I do not envy
Con sonar noisemaker bearing 108.
trying to evade a Mark 48 in a very slow boat. Okay, here he is. He was to the port side, and yep, torpedo doesn't know where he is, or can't hear through the noisemaker, I don't think. So it's gonna typically circle back and have another go.
Con sonar lost
Hey,
contact. Sierra
there we
2, last bearing 107. Contact breaking up.
Bit anticlimactic towards the end there, but we got the boat. Let's switch back to me now. Is there anything left? Fairly rapid
Come left to 180. Helm I.
engagement of a Wolfpack, but is there anything left? I would like to assume that there's not,
Make depth 300 feet. Dive by.
but I don't know for sure. That there could be another boat out here. Let's get my depth up to 300 feet, or reduce my
Con
depth.
helm. Steady course.
And we're going to ping actively again, I think. Okay, bed ping.
Con sonar switching to active search. Con sonar switching to passive search.
I would say that we've taken care of the enemy. 3 torpedoes, 3 submarines downed. Let's call it for this one. So let's go ahead and see if I can do that. I can. So there's nothing close to me. Let's leave combat. Yep, that was it. Alright. Well, 3 targets successfully prosecuted. I hope you got something from this. It felt kind of short and sweet, but sometimes that's what you need. Well, thanks so much for hanging out with me today. Like I say, I hope you got something from this, and maybe I'll see you in the next video. Thanks so much, everyone.